welcome to the Health Side. World Plastic Surgery Day is observed on July 15th every year. More often than not, people associate this field of medical research with frivolous narcissistic changes to someone's body image, and many believe it to be against nature. But plastic surgery isn't simply for making you look good, it also serves other important functions. Today, Dr. Nilesh Sadbhai, Senior Consultant for Plastic Hand and Reconstructive Surgery at Global Hospital, will share his thoughts on what plastic surgery really is and how it benefits people. So, welcome Dr. Nilesh Sadbhai to the health side. My first question to you is, can you tell us something about reconstructive or plastic surgery?
Yes, very good morning to all of you. And today is Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery Day. And 15 July has been celebrated as a Plastic and Reconstructive Day since the year 2011. That is mainly because of the reason to create awareness about this specialty in the masses and also in the medical specialties. Because fortunately or unfortunately, plastic surgery is a very soft name to say, but it does not indicate any specific organ system, or it does not indicate what the person actually does. So plastic, the name came from a Greek word called as plastikos, and that actually means to mold the tissues. So plastic surgery is actually molding the tissues. It is creating new things, and it is extremely flexible, just like being plastic is being flexible. So plastic surgery is actually a very versatile specialty, and it deals with several aspects of reconstructive surgery, cosmetic surgery, burns surgery, cancer surgery, craniofacial cleft surgery, congenital deformities. So we do not treat any particular organ, just as a cardiologist would treat the heart diseases or a nephrologist would treat kidney diseases. So plastic surgery or a plastic surgeon does not treat any specific organ or any specific system. We deal with anything and everything from the head to toe. We are more like problem solving specialty. So we are many a times called upon by other specialists when they face problems which are difficult to handle, or which are complicated, or which need much more complex solutions to solve those problems. So that is, in a nutshell, plastic surgery.
So, as you mentioned, that there are many surgeries such as that. So, what kind of surgeries are happening these days?
Yes. So these days, majority of a plastic surgeon's role is in reconstructive surgery, and that consists of reconstruction following cancer surgeries. As we know, that oral cancer is a pandemic across the globe. And India is its epicenter in a way. So India has a huge workload of oral and aerodigestive cancers, as a result of which these patients have to undergo complex excisional procedures to get rid of the cancer. And the defects or the deformities that follow these excisional surgeries need to be reconstructed. And the plastic surgeon uses tissues from the patient's own body, and he gives them the desired shape and form that is needed to reconstruct the defect. So that is one of the major parts or roles of the plastic surgeon. In addition, yes, there is a huge demand for cosmetic surgery as well, because more and more people are aware of their body, they are conscious of their image. There are social and professional pressures for which everybody wants to look good. So definitely, plastic surgeon has a major role in enhancing the appearance of a person, or in beautification. So broadly speaking, reconstruction and cosmetic are two major parts of plastic surgery. And then, as in reconstruction we spoke, it is cancer reconstruction or reconstruction following trauma. So accidents can lead to loss of tissues which need to be reconstructed. Congenital deformities have caused certain problems which need to be corrected or reconstructed. Burns can cause deformities and wounds which need to be treated, and the deformities need to be corrected to make the personal functional again. So plastic surgery is extremely versatile. You may be doing new things every single day. you may be doing things which you have not done earlier. So it is a set of principles which we apply in different scenarios to get the best possible outcome, to handle the tissues in a better way, and to improve our surgical expertise and finish.
So, can you give an example of cases where plastic or reconstructive surgery is unavoidable?
Yes, as I said, like oral cancers, many a times the defects caused are so wide and so disabling that they definitely need reconstruction, right? So that is one situation. Similarly, trauma surgery, where there are major wounds on the upper or the lower extremity, and then if the bone is exposed, or if other vital structures are exposed, or if the blood circulation to the limb is stopped or it gets injured, then you need to restore the blood circulation of the limb. You need to repair the tendons and the nerves so that the muscles and joints can function well. And finally, you need to cover those wounds in order to avoid infection and secondary problems. So those are unavoidable circumstances where you need to undergo a reconstructive surgery. Similarly, congenital deformities are again, in order to improve the quality of life, you need to undergo corrective surgeries. So these are unavoidable circumstances. Cosmetic surgery, more or less, is an elective thing. What it is a matter of self-perception. So what one person may feel as a problem and feel the need to improve it, the other person may not feel similar, or he may choose to neglect it. So that is a matter of choice. But yes, most of the things in reconstructive surgery are a matter of necessity.
So you mentioned avoidable surgeries. So if you get requests, what are those kind?
See, major part of a cosmetic surgeon's practice consists of body contouring or liposuction or facial cosmetic surgery or Botox, fillers, lasers, scar management. So all these things, some scars are worn with pride, but some scars naturally attract bad attention, or they are a matter of ridicule, and that affects the person psyche, or causes some sort of low morale for the individual. Hence, in such situations, what we usually do is to place all the options in front of the patient of what will happen if you don't do anything, what will happen if you do something which is minimally invasive, or what will happen if you do something which is a major surgical procedure. And then you also lay down the pros and cons of every option. And ultimately, the choice is of the patient, because it is he who has to undergo the procedure, he who has to bear the cost of the procedure, and to make an effort in the post-operative period to achieve the best possible result. So you lay down all the options, you guide them what is the best option. But yes, ultimately you leave the choice to the individual himself or herself.
So can you tell us a little about some complications that can come up during as well as after this kind of surgery?
Yes. So plastic surgery is all about planning, because you need to know the anatomy of all the structures in depth and in details. And you need everything in body, actually is said to be a race of beauty and blood. Okay. So in all surgery, so all the flaps or the reconstructive procedures or the cosmetic procedures that we do, whenever you plan a incision, or you plan to cut the skin, the planning is in such a way that you cause least damage to the blood circulation of the skin. That helps in proper healing, and that also helps in placing the scar in the right position and to get the best possible scar, because scars are inevitable. There is nothing like a scarless surgery.
Okay.
But in plastic surgery, you apply the principles of getting a good scar or placing it in the right position so that it is inconspicuous, or it is less visible. At the same time, you place the incision in such a way that the blood circulation to the skin is least damaged. Uh, so all these principles of plastic surgery helps you to avoid complications. Complications typically happen when the blood circulation to the skin is damaged, or the skin gets necrosed, or it turns black, or the scars are not proper, or you develop a blood clot or an seroma. All these complications are avoidable with proper thought process and proper planning before the surgery, and making the efforts after the surgery to avoid all these complications.
So, with so much buzz around plastic surgery, there are obviously some myths surrounding it. So, can you tell us some myths surrounding plastic surgery?
Yes, the most important myth is that plastic surgery is very costly. So that is a common thought, because plastic surgery is often associated with cosmetic surgery or aesthetic surgery, because people don't know the reconstructive aspect or the role of plastic surgeons in reconstructive surgery. There is they feel that it is a costly procedure. But plastic surgery is not actually very costly, or it is just a matter of doing a thing in a better way. And it is actually, it reduces the recovery time, and it gives you a much superior result. So in a way, plastic surgeries is more cost effective, I would say. Suppose you are getting treated for a primary injury to the finger. uh, if on day one the finger is sutured properly, or the nail bed is sutured properly, or the fracture is fixed properly, you get a good scar which is painless. You get a normal nail which grows properly without getting crooked or deformed. You get a painless finger in the shortest time, and you save on time. That time saved is the money saved. Hence, choosing the right specialist on day one is extremely important. And rather than getting treated for a bad scar on the face, if on day one the scar is assessed and treated by a plastic surgeon, you would definitely have the best chance of getting a good scar, and you could avoid the later trauma of getting secondary treatment for the scar. So plastic surgery in effect is actually cost effective. So that is the first myth about plastic surgery. Second thing is, because the name, as I said, does not indicate a specific organ system or plastic, people feel that we are using plastic or some artificial material for plastic surgery. But actually, majority of the reconstructive and cosmetic procedures, they utilize your own self body tissue, because that is the most non-reactive and safe tissue to use, which the body accepts very smoothly and comfortably, and that gives you the best possible result.
Okay.
Only in circumstances where it is not possible to use your own body parts, you use implants or artificial materials. So that those are very selected and rare situations. So that is another myth, that we use plastic in plastic surgery.
Okay. So generally, who are the people who come for plastic surgery? What is the age group?
Yes, that again, as I said, that suppose a pediatrician treats children, or a geriatrician treats the old people. Similarly, in plastic surgery, there is no specific age group. We treat individuals of all ages, right from the birth. A child born with a cleft lip, or a cleft palate, or a congenital hand deformity, or an brachial plexus palsy, are treated by plastic surgeons. Similarly, old people, suppose a person with arthritis, developing joint deformities in the hand, needs treatment from a plastic surgeon. A diabetic person with a wound on the foot needs treatment by a plastic surgeon. A bedridden person with a bed sore or a wound needs to be treated by a plastic surgeon. So there is no specific age group that we treat. We treat right from an infant to an old person.
So, is there anything else you want to tell our viewers about plastic surgery?
Yes. I would like to say that choose your surgeon in the right manner. Check his credentials. Look out for options. The internet is full of information, but you should know what is the right information and what is the wrong information. You should always check the advice given by your doctor. cost is always not the only parameter by which you decide what treatment you take, and always go to the right person and to get the best possible outcome.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for such a great interaction.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to all of you. Wishing you a very happy Plastic and Reconstructive Day. Thank you.
Thank you.